If you've ever been fortunate enough to see a cat fall from a great height, you know that they seem to defy gravity by always landing on their feet. And when you think about it, it is pretty impressive because cats can fall from great heights and survive with very few injuries, if any at all. But do cats really always land on their feet? To find out the truth, we need to look at what happens when a cat falls from a height. When a cat falls, its body follows the laws of physics just like any other object would. The cat accelerates towards the ground due to the force of gravity. But unlike other objects, a cat has the ability to control its descent by changing the position of its limbs. This is thanks to their flexible spines and their righting reflex. The righting reflex is an instinctive reaction that cats have that helps them orient themselves in space. It's what allows them to land on their feet after a fall. In fact, this reflex is so powerful that it can even be triggered in a cat while it's sleeping. If a cat is sleeping and its spine is bent or its head is turned to one side, it will automatically attempt to right itself before continuing to sleep. This reflex is controlled by the vestibular system in a cat's inner ear, which is what allows them to keep their balance. When a cat falls, its body is suddenly weightless for a brief period of time. This causes the fluid in the cat's vestibular system to slosh around, which signals to the brain that the cat is falling. This triggers the righting reflex, which starts the process of flipping the cat over so that it lands on its feet. The first thing that happens is that the cat's head and ears rotate to face the ground. This helps the cat to get its bearings and figure out which way is up and down. Then the cat's body follows by twisting and turning until it's in a horizontal position. Finally, the cat extends its legs and prepares to land. This whole process happens very quickly, usually within a fraction of a second. That's why it seems like cats land on their feet almost instantly. Now, cats are not the only animals that can right themselves in midair. Other animals, such as dogs, birds, and turtles, can also do this. However, cats are the only animals that can do it reliably every time they fall. So you might be thinking that this reflex is what allows cats to always land on their feet. And while it does play a big role, it's not the only thing. There's another factor at play as well, something that we humans can learn from cats. Now you may be wondering, why can cats always land on their feet? Well, the answer is simple. It's because they have 9 lives. Okay, I'm just kidding. Cats don't actually have 9 lives. But there is something special about their bodies that allows them to survive falls from great heights. You see, cats are incredibly flexible animals. Their spines are made up of individual bones called vertebrae that are connected by ligaments. These ligaments allow the vertebrae to bend and flex, which gives cats their amazing flexibility. For example, when a cat falls, its spine can compress, which helps to reduce the impact of the fall. Also, cats have a special bone in their spines called the clavicle, which is a flat bone that runs between the front legs. This bone is connected to the rest of the spine by strong ligaments, which makes it very flexible. When a cat falls, the clavicle helps to support the body and prevent it from breaking. In addition, cats have several other adaptations that help them to survive falls. For example, they have sharp claws that help them to grip onto surfaces, and their tails help them to balance. Okay, let's talk about the myth that cats always land on their feet. You've probably heard people say that cats always land on their feet, but is this really true? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Cats can't always land on their feet, especially if they're too small or too young. Kittens under 6 months old don't have the righting reflex fully developed, and therefore can't always land on their feet. They're more likely to curl into a ball and protect their head and vital organs. Additionally, cats that are overweight or have certain health conditions such as arthritis may not be able to right themselves in time to land on their feet. Even a healthy adult cat won't be able to flip itself over if it doesn't have enough time. For example, if a cat falls from a very low height, it may not have enough time to complete a full flip. If a cat falls from a high place and fails to land on its feet, the impact of the fall can cause serious injuries. Cats are more likely to injure themselves if they fall from a height of 2 to 3 times their height. So while it is true that cats are flexible and have a righting reflex that helps them to land on their feet, there are many factors that can affect a cat's ability to do so. And sometimes these factors can be fatal. Now, I bet you're curious to know how high up can a cat fall and survive. While every situation is unique and there is no guarantee that a cat will survive a fall from any height, there are some general guidelines that can be followed. Generally speaking, a cat has a better chance of surviving a fall if it falls from a lower height. As a cat falls, its body accelerates due to the force of gravity. The higher the cat falls, the faster it will be going when it hits the ground. A cat that falls from a great height is more likely to suffer from the impact. There have been cases of cats surviving falls from very high places, such as buildings and trees. However, these cases are relatively rare. In most cases, a cat that falls from a height of more than 2 or 3 stories is unlikely to survive. Now, it's important to note that there are exceptions to this rule. There have been cases of cats surviving falls from much greater heights than this. But this is more the exception rather than the norm. A cat that falls from a height needs to be taken to the vet for a checkup, even if it appears to be fine. Internal injuries may not be immediately apparent, but could be life-threatening. But now you might be thinking, well, what is the highest a cat has ever fallen and lived to tell the tale? Well, the record for the highest fall survived by a cat is held by a cat named Ginger, who fell from a small plane at an altitude of 25,000 feet and lived to tell the tale. Ginger was a domestic short-hair cat who belonged to a family in Colorado. In July 2004, Ginger's owner took her on a small plane ride. Ginger was in a pet carrier in the cabin of the plane when it suddenly went into a nosedive. The plane lost power, and the pilot was forced to make an emergency landing. During the crash, the pet carrier was knocked open and Ginger was thrown out of the plane. Miraculously, Ginger survived the fall and was found on a beach near the crash site. She had only minor injuries and made a full recovery. But wait, there's more. In 2015, a ginger cat named Scarlet from the UK broke the world record set by Ginger by falling from a plane at an astonishing 33,000 feet and surviving. Scarlet was traveling with her owner in a hot air balloon when the basket was blown over, causing both her and her owner to fall out of the balloon. But luckily, both she and her owner survived the fall with only minor injuries. But now you might be wondering, how did Scarlet and Ginger survive such great heights? Well, there are a few things that helped them survive. First, both cats were wearing safety harnesses, which helped to protect their bodies during the fall. Second, both cats landed in relatively soft places, which helped to cushion the impact. And third, both cats were very lucky. Falling from such a great height is dangerous, and there is no guarantee that any cat will survive a fall from that height. I hope you enjoyed learning more about cats and their amazing abilities. Cats are truly amazing creatures, and we are lucky to have them in our lives. So go ahead and give your cat some extra love and appreciation today. And maybe share this video with your friends and family so they can learn more about cats too. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a new video. Have a great day and remember to be kind to animals.